Good afternoon and welcome to Newsline. 30 minutes of major news events all about Liberia and the rest of the world. Today is Tuesday, May 14, 2024. Martha Rogers anchoring. In the headlines this afternoon, Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn urges public officials to be tolerant and accept criticism.
To us, members of the ruling government, I encourage us to be tolerant, accepting that criticism are crucial ingredient to a functioning democracy.
Labour Ministry commenced manual oil plantation for employing 137 contractors, a key demand of aggrieved workers. Internal Affairs Minister Francis Yumalin calls for greater accountability in local government administration. And away from home, unemployment rises by 32% in South Africa ahead of elections. Details of these interesting developments plus more, including Newsline Sports, all coming up right after the news bulletin read for us by Emmanuel Colley.
Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn has urged the ruling party and officials of government to be politically tolerant. Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn wants officials to accept criticism, describing it as a crucial ingredient to the country's flourishing democracy. He believes accepting the critical views of all those in good faith will allow the government to adjust its strategy in addressing the socio-economic needs of the people.
As members of the ruling government, I encourage us to be tolerant, accepting that criticism are crucial ingredient to a functioning democracy. We must embrace the critical views of others in good faith and make the appropriate adjustment in our strategy for addressing the social economic needs of our people.
The Liberian vice president was speaking Tuesday at the Centennial Pavilion in Monrovia during programs marking National Unification Day. VP Kuhn urged Liberians to redirect their energy to things that band them together and promote the image of their country. The Labour Ministry has lauded Manon Oil Pan Company operating in Bomi and Grand Cayman counties for elevating 137 contractors to full employment status. It followed the ministry's intervention amid recent violent industrial unrest by workers and contractors of the company in demand of better wages and other incentives. According to authorities, the company's decision was in compliance with the Labour Ministry's mandate and the Decent Work Act. The video also calls Labour Minister Councillor Kopokra as calling on workers of the company and other industrial corporations to use social dialogue to seek redress to their grievances as opposed to violent protest. Meanwhile, the Labour Ministry has disclosed that setting up of the Labour Inspector teams to commence nationwide tour of the Western Cluster, Northern and Central regions, as well as the Southeast to probe Labour-related matters. Internal Affairs Minister Francis Yumalin has urged the new leadership of the Nima County to serve with commitment and accountability to move the county forward. Minister Yumalin also warned local authorities against acts of corruption in the discharge of their duties, describing corruption as anti-development and progress. The Internal Affairs Ministry boss also gave the caution recently in Sanikole Nima County when he inducted Superintendent Kou Manpe Gono and four others. Minister Yumalin also called on the superintendent to operate within the confines of the 2018 local government acts. At the same time, Nima County Superintendent Kowu Gono is calling for an audit of the outgoing administration of the county. Superintendent Gono said this can also ensure transparency and hold people accountable for their stewardship. Our correspondent calls the outgoing superintendent, Nelson Kokoya, saying his administration left over $3 million in the coffers of the county. Meanwhile, citizens of Nima have welcomed the decision of Superintendent Gono to commission an audit of the past administration. The citizens claimed that money is allotted to repair 22 earth moving equipment cannot be accounted for as all the machines have since broken down. Cotton University Graduate School Vice President Dr. Rudolph Buble wants President Joseph Boakai prioritized reforms to stimulate economic growth. Dr. Buble believes stimulating economic growth for Liberia requires privatizing the sale and the provision of constant electricity and tackling wasteful spending. He said a free market system could also be an enabler to achieve much more development for Liberia. The Liberian educator believes investing in different economic activities will also help and shape the country's economic outlook. Dr. Buble wants the government to do more to lift citizens out of poverty. And residents of Districts 3 and 4 in Ima County are benefiting from the rehabilitation of a feeder road connecting B and Saw Clams. The road reconstruction is being carried out by Vice President Jeremiah Kone in fulfillment of a campaign promise made to the people of the area. Our correspondent said workers and area of moving equipment are currently daily working to ensure that the roads are accessible and pliable. Meanwhile, the General Clan Chief, Albert Stolle, has lauded the Vice President for the initiative.
Emmanuel will be back a little later. That's when you listen to our international news. This is Newsline on ELBC Radio. One of the big stories we follow in this afternoon. Labor Ministry commenced manual oil plantation for employing 137 contractors, a key demand of aggrieved workers. Liberian Vice President Jeremiah Kun wants officials accept critical views of others in good faith. He believes such move will allow government make appropriate adjustments in its strategies in addressing the needs of the people. The Vice President was speaking Tuesday at Centennial Pavilion in Monrovia during programs marking National Unification Day.